I have no doubt that there are questions out there that people aren't asking that they probably should. And I'm sure you bring that to light in the office when they come in to speak with you. So let's take a little time right now and talk about Medicare questions that most seniors actually forget to ask.
Yeah, so this topic right here is one that most people don't ever think about, and a lot of people don't ask certain questions. I get the standard, typical questions. We went through it earlier, where the top 5 questions. You can look over the website. There's all kinds of top 5s, top 7s, top 10s. There's all kinds of different questions that people are currently asking. But there's a lot of questions that people don't ask, and it may be a situation where, they don't always come up. I don't know, a lot of you listeners out there, you may all of a sudden get home and say, wow, I should have asked this question. I forgot about it, right? That happens all the time. And these are some of the things that are typically overlooked. So one of the things, and I've addressed this in the employer video that I did, or that we're working on. Do I have to stop HSA contributions before my Medicare starts? So I was doing an event a couple of years back, and at my event I was talking about employer plans and HSAs and things of that nature, and why you need to be aware of whether you have an HSA and whether you should sign up for Medicare. And a lady came up to me, and she had, like a tear in her eye, and she was looking at me, and she said, I've got a real problem. And I said, well, what's the problem? She says, I have been 65 for 2 years. I'm still working, and I signed up for Medicare Part A. I go, well, that's not a problem. She says, no. But I've had an HSA for the last 2 years, and I max out my contribution. I said, now that's a problem. But I was able to put her mind at some ease. So here's the way the regulations and rules work. If you sign up for Medicare, Part A or Part A and B, original Medicare, you must stop contributions to an HSA 6 months prior to signing up. If you do not stop the HSA contributions, you will be subject to penalties and an excise tax. The easy way around this, and the easy way to take care of this, is any monies that you have contributed to the HSA for that period need to be removed from the HSA account. So I went back and I talked to a CPA who will, at this point, remain nameless. And I asked him a simple question, what happens if this does come up and becomes an issue for somebody? And one of the things that he mentioned was, if they are audited and this does come out in an audit, then they can be penalized and be charged that tax. So to answer that question, yes, if you are signing up for Medicare, you must stop contributions to an HSA account. Why do some eligible seniors not sign up for Part A at 65? Well, there again, the 2 things that I've just mentioned. One, they may not sign up for Medicare Part A if they have an HSA account. Like I mentioned, there's no reason to sign up if you want to continue to contribute to that HSA. The other reason would be is if you have a employer-sponsored plan, and the employer-sponsored plan is lower than what Medicare cost would be, then you would not want to sign up for Medicare Part A or Part B for that matter. So in order to keep an HSA account or having low premiums through an employer, you do not want to sign up for Medicare Part A. Do I need Medicare if I have VA benefits? This is a great question, and a lot of people never think about it. It doesn't even cross their mind. The simple answer is yes, you should sign up for Medicare even if you are on VA benefits. VA benefits, just an explanation, is for the veterans. And I want to thank all of our veterans for their services. I do that every time I see one. If you are utilizing the VA for your health care services, a lot of people think that I don't need to sign up for Medicare or have any other plan. I would tell you that it is in your best interest to sign up for Medicare and choose a plan that is specifically designed for our veterans. I have many plans that have great benefits. Some of these plans actually will give money back into your Part B Social Security check for your Part B premium. It works with the VA. It does not replace the VA. A lot of people think if I sign up for Medicare, it's going to replace my veterans benefits. That is not the case. They work hand in hand, and they're actually a great option for those of you that are using your veteran benefits. Go to the VA, get your prescriptions, use their benefits afforded to you that you sacrificed for, and sign up for Medicare and get some of these other plans that are going to help you as well. A lot of people don't know that they have that available to them. What happens to my Medicare if I move? Another great question. Your original Medicare, your Part A, Part B, original Medicare, the simple answer is nothing. Nothing happens to that. Everybody 65 years old or older that has actually signed up for original Medicare, I don't care where you live in the United States, you've got the same coverage for across the country. Nothing happens to original Medicare. Now, if you have a Medicare supplement or a Medigap plan, nothing happens to that as well. You do not have to, you would want to change address, but you do not have to change plans. But if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, then you are moving from one service area to another service area. You definitely want to change address and change plans. The big reason for that is because of the networks. An Advantage plan has a network. And if you're moving out of a service area, your network will change. That will trigger what's called the SEP, or the Special Enrollment Period. You will be allowed to make a change to your plan and get a plan that is going to be better served and have a broader network for you in the new state or city that you're moving to. Next, can Medicare drop me for any reason? In general, no. They cannot drop you for any reason. So if you're signed up for original Medicare, they can't just arbitrarily say, well, we're going to get rid of this person. They have too many claims, or for whatever reason, we're going to drop them. That cannot happen. But here's what can happen. Remember, Medicare Part B comes with a monthly premium. If, for some reason, you stop making that premium payment, then your Medicare Part B will be suspended and or canceled. Okay? Now, you may be asking, well, if I'm taking Social Security, how can that happen? It doesn't happen if you're taking Social Security because it comes right out of your Social Security check. But this is for those people that are not taking Social Security, that sign up for Medicare, and will get a quarterly bill. If you do not make that payment, then Medicare will cancel your Part B. Okay? Doesn't happen very often, but I have had it happen. What we need to do is we reinstate the Part B. You have to pay all of the premium and catch you up, and then we reinstate the insurance plan that you had. Does Medicare have a network? Well, there again, original Medicare does not have a network. Okay? If a doctor accepts original Medicare, then you've got coverage. Now, doctors don't always have to take original Medicare. Don't confuse that with Medicaid, original Medicare. If the doctor takes Medicare, then there's no network. Now, where a lot of people get confused when it comes to networks is the actual Advantage plans. And like I mentioned earlier, Advantage plans do have networks. Okay, so the networks on an Advantage plan is what you have to pay attention to. But original Medicare does not have a network. So these are just 6 of the questions that a lot of people fail to ask. They may think about it on the drive home. They may have someone else ask them that question, and they, may reach out to me. But these are not questions that I typically get. But I felt that it was very important for you to know and understand that there are questions that you may not think of that I'm always top of mind, and I want to try to make sure that everybody understands. So if you have a need for more information, you want to know more about Medicare, reach out to us. This is a passion of ours here at AMA. We do our best to make sure that we answer all of your questions and even those that you don't ask. So reach out to us, and we're here to help you and make life as easy as possible moving through retirement and through your Medicare days.
You can go to americasmedicareassociates.com to set up a time to speak with Scott and his team. Just because you don't ask these questions doesn't mean that they're not important to know. Fortunately for you, by listening today, you are better informed. The next step, of course, is sitting down and figuring out how it all affects and impacts you. As I said, go to americasmedicareassociates.com or give a call, 419-794-3030. I want to remind you one more time about that upcoming Medicare workshop this Tuesday. You can go to the website, find out more information about that there, and go ahead and reserve your seat. They do ask that you do reserve your seat. Also, you can find out more about it right now because, Scott, since it is coming up here in just a couple of days, It's Tuesday, let's talk about what people can expect at this Medicare workshop.
So, Chris, one of the things we do at our workshops is this is an educational workshop. This is not a sales event. We don't do sales events. We try to educate everybody on Medicare. People ask me, well, what do you do for a living? And I tell them I'm an educator. And they say, oh, you're a teacher. I go, no. I educate people on their health benefits. So one of the things you can expect is we're going to go through the Part A benefits in detail, the cost involved and what your out-of-pocket costs are for Part A hospital. We're going to go through Part B and line by line with what Part B covers, your out-of-pocket costs, the monthly premiums. We're going to talk about how to enroll in a little bit more detail than what we get into here on the radio. We're going to go through how to enroll and what you need to be prepared for. We're also going to talk about prescription drugs. And probably the biggest thing that we're going to start talking about here real soon is what's on the horizon for Medicare. It is changing. We will be finding out here in the next couple, 2 or 3 weeks, exactly what's new and exciting for 2026. Not everybody thinks it's exciting, but what is new? So our workshops are very, very relaxed. They're very laid back. I like to have fun. There are some topics that we laugh, and there's some topics that we cry about because of the pain involved in the Medicare process. Come on out. We encourage you. You'll get a nice meal from the Red Lobster. The butter baked biscuits are all low calorie. That's what the waiters tell us. I'm not sure that that's the case, but no, we go through everything you need to know. We do have question and answer sessions that will allow you to ask questions, and we'll give you as much detail as we can in a very limited time frame.